Fire Country experienced several vital cast departures in Season 4, and now I understand why. CBS premiere First Responder series returned somewhat late during network TV's 2025 to 2026 schedule. That said, considering how it opened the year with a couple of tragedies. Not long after the Season 3 finale, it was announced that two original cast members were departing the show. Billy Burke and Stephanie Arcilla were revealed to be ending their respective stints as Vince and Gabriella. Both of their exits were set up by the Fire Country Season 3 finale, which was dominated by the Zabel Ridge fire. The Leone patriarch's death was due to a rescue gone wrong, with his demise spoiled in the trailers for Season 4. As if that wasn't enough for its first hour back from the summer hiatus, the offering ended with Gabriella deciding to leave. It hasn't been long since Fire Country had to say goodbye to both Vince and Gabriella, and now, the show is once again on the cusp of bidding an important cast member farewell, Audrey. Considering the fallout of that, I realize that there's a narrative reason for these losses. Fire Country Season 4, Episode 4 effectively rebuilds Bode, Jake, and Eve's friendship. On the heels of Vince's death and Gabriella's departure, Bode latched onto Audrey for support. Granted that he's had some moments of weakness, especially as he battles the temptation to get back to his drug-using ways as a way to cope, but for the most part, his girlfriend became his source of strength. The problem is, however, and as pointed out by Audrey, she is also struggling to keep clean, and being with Bode makes it much more difficult. Towards the end of Fire Country Season 4, Episode 4, Jake and Eve reach out Bode, both about Vince's letter and Audrey's situation. While the show doesn't reveal their subsequent relationship, all the losses that Station 42 has gone through in the last few weeks have brought Fire Country's original friend group together. Bode himself said it, now that Audrey is gone, he needs people to hang out with, and that's where his longtime friends come in. Granted that Bode still has Manny, especially now that he's back at the station, and Sharon, his relationship with Jake and Eve is different. Their bond is unique, considering that they're all the same age, hence, they have similar experiences and even perspectives that would allow them to be a better support system for each other. Why Bode's bond with Jake and Eve is Fire Country's most important relationship. The trio's friendship precedes the events of Fire Country. In fact, the dissolution of their bond after Riley's death was an important part of the show's premise. Over time, Bode, Jake, and Eve gradually rebuilt their bond, especially as the Leone son worked to get out of prison and become a proper firefighter. That long history together should be the cornerstone of the show, moving forward, especially since both Eve and Jake deserve their own time under the spotlight. Beyond that, they are also the next generation of firefighters in Edgewater. Jake is already on a path to take over the firehouse, although he will have to wait a while after Manny's promotion. Meanwhile, Eve has proven his leadership abilities by leading 3 Rock. As a Leone, Bode is bound to do big things, regardless of what it's going to be. Together, they could be the face of Fire Country's run.